Ms. Akello,
Yes, my lady.
The Land Control Act, Chapter 302 of the Laws of Kenya, is indeed an old statute. I'm sure you are aware of the provisions of Section 6 thereof that provide that any transaction touching on agricultural land requires the consent of the Land Control Board. In your own view, why do you think we have such a provision in our law?
Thank you very much, my lady. My lady, the requirement for getting the land consent from the Land Control Board truly emanates from the Land Control Act, and truly, like you say, this is a 1967 act. The intention at that time, my lady, was that Kenya was predominantly an agricultural country, and agriculture was our mainstay. So the intention of that statute, my lady, was that it will be able to protect agriculture in the country and also be able to protect agricultural land so that it is not then abused, and to be able to protect agriculture as a cash crop and cash income earning area of our country. So then it provided for consent as regards to any use that could be able to destroy the agricultural husbandry of an area, B, to be able to control the ownership of land, 3, to be able to avoid the uneconomic subdivision of that land, 4, to also be able to control foreign ownership, because agriculture was the mainstay of Kenyans. It was thus protecting what the Kenyans were able to have. And so this, as provided for by Section 9, was to be able to protect that economy as an agricultural economy.
So given the reasons that you've given us, would you say that in the present dispensation, that provision of the Land Control Act requiring consent is still necessary?
Thank you very much, my lady.
And if not, tell us why. And if you think it is still important that we maintain it in our statute book, please tell us why you think so.
Thank you very much, my lady. My lady, whereas the economic environment of this country has changed, I would still say that that consent is necessary. However, a rider, my lady, as I say, it is necessary. I would say that it is necessary, but not within the structural and the statutory architecture of the Land Control Act as it is today. My lady,
why do you say it is still necessary?
Thank you very much. My lady, because one of the provisions of trying to protect an economic subdivision of land is still a lived reality today. We have gotten to the point we have subdivisions in this country to as small as 40 by 80.
So we haven't dealt with the question of minimum acreages and maximum acreages.
Exactly, my lady, though it's provided for in the Land Act.
In the interest of time, so let's go to the other reason why you thought it was important to have the Land Control Act. So one was to, of course, check the subdivisions into portions that become uneconomical.
Yes. The second reason I'd say it's still necessary is to be able to control foreign ownership. Whereas I know we have
provided... Does the Constitution deal with that issue of foreign ownership?
Yes, my lady. At Article 65, it provides for the limitation of the foreign ownership.
So why then would you say then that we still need the provisions of Section 6 of the Land Control Act? If it has taken care of that, the Constitution has taken care of that aspect of foreigners not owning land in this country.
My lady, whereas Article 165 limits the tenure they can hold as foreigners,
yes,
it does not limit the ownership or total ownership of foreigners on agricultural land. And given the expense and the type of environment in agricultural land, I'll take an example of maybe Kajiado County. This is still an area where we're having conservations coming in. I think it is still important that we still do not have that agricultural land taken over by foreigners.
Fair enough. So you've given us two reasons why we should still maintain that provision.
The third one,
yes,
sorry, my lady.
Yes.
The third reason I would give, my lady, is to be able to have also the information and consent of family members. Given the level of land fraud in this country, the requirement that all family members are aware of a transaction,
particularly... Does the requirement that one must get spousal consent take care of that in a land transaction?
Spousal consent is, yes, that does take care of it. But just for agricultural land, my lady, if you do permit me, I'd say that it is still important that the rest of the family, other than the spouses, are also aware, because the consent process, as it is is given a time period through which someone can be able, who's not a spouse, can also be able to come and contest it.
All right, I hear you.
Yes, my lady.
Finally?
Yes.
Was there another reason why?
Sorry. Yes, my lady. My lady, the other reason was to be able to control the husbandry of that area. And so any area which is a controlled area, and in addition to the Land Control Act, the Land Act has also delineated other areas as controlled land areas. It's also important that whatever changes are being done, because the consent does not only control the disposition of that land, it also controls the change of use of that land. So it is important for the government to be able to still have a stake to be able to know that this land is being disposed, and then this change of user is going to be then introduced in that area.
Thank you. Thank you, CJ.